Hello and welcome back to Tantra Mama. I am sending you so much love from Heron Island. It is just the most beautiful sunset at the moment, and I'm taking this opportunity to send you special island vibes through your screen to the other side of the world or wherever you are in Australia. So soak in the special little sound effects that I've got for you here in the backdrop. Today I am going to share with you 4 questions that have basically turned my life around. I first heard them at one of my very first Tantra workshops with Shaftuddin. So sending you so much love for that, for passing them on to me, for explaining the beauty of them to me. And that was about 2 years ago, so I can absolutely assure you that those questions have impacted my life in so many amazing ways. I've used them in different situations, like with lovers, with family, during my teaching, during workshops, and I have never regretted asking them, like the opposite. If I didn't ask them, I looked back and looked at the situation and I went, I didn't ask my 4 questions. No wonder that I'm left with like a bit of awkwardness, or no wonder that I'm left with sort of an uncertainty that just doesn't feel right. And I knew if I would have asked those questions, I would have not find myself in that space of just sort of, sometimes it's like feels like muggy, sometimes it feels sort of unsettled, sometimes it feels sort of like you thought you knew something, or you thought you knew what the other person was thinking or feeling, but you didn't really. So yeah, just from the bottom of my heart, I can just tell you that those questions will make such a beautiful difference to you and the other person, because it's not just for you, it's also for the other person or the other group of people that you're with, that they get to experience whatever you're sharing with them on a much deeper and a much more playful and secure and just harmonious level, because it feels like, you know, you got to talk about the playground where you could have kind of that you're moving in beforehand. So, and that really helps you to drop in so much deeper into the situation. So here we go. The first question is, what is your intention? And you finish the sentence with whatever fits in that situation. So let's say if you are with your lover, you can say, what's your intention for making love with me tonight? If you're with your, let's say, a family event, it can be something like, you know, what's your intention for going on a family holiday with me? If you're working with a group of people, like at work, or like me, like at school, it could be something like, what is your intention of coming to the workshop tonight? So you can see it fits in into whatever situation that you are in. You just make it so it works for you and it resonates with you. So the first question is really to find out, you know, where is the person coming from? What are they sort of gaining from the experience? What do they want to get out of it? And yeah, you can, you know, honesty and openness is obviously the key here. So yeah, sit down, ask the question and listen to what's their why are they here with you in that space. So and it's beautiful to just share that with each other, and that also might change over time. You know, next time you meet up with that person, maybe go through the questions again and see if there's anything that has changed. So the next question is, what is your desire? And again, fill in the blanks. You know? Let's say, what's your desire for going out for dinner with me tonight? Or what's your desire for taking me to Heron Island? You know, whatever works for you. What is your desire? So that basically covers anything that you really wish for, that you really like, you dream for, you hope for, like your deepest, wildest dreams, or your most sort of heartfelt dreams. And you'll see it's just beautiful to find out what is the other person actually like trying to get out of this experience. You know, what are they dreaming of? Because sometimes we think we know, but we don't always really know. And by asking it, you will definitely find out. So I can only recommend that you touch on that. The next question is, what is your fear or your fears? and how can I support you with your fear in case it does come up? Now, at first when somebody hears that and they've never really, had a chance to truly discuss that question, again, you might feel a little bit, it might come out a bit clumsy, or you might find, can I really share like what I fear truly, deeply? Just give it a bit of time. And again, it's an invitation, it's an invitation to voice what is coming up in that moment. And that might change as well. So your fears one day might be different to your fears another day. But by talking about your fears, it's almost like you've dealt with that, and they can kind of then rest on the side. So once you go into the experience, it's almost like you've voiced it, you've had the other person like being present with you while you voiced it, and it almost drops you into a much more calmer situation. And while you're in the experience, you're not constantly worrying about your fear, because you know the other person is there for you. You've already kind of opened up to that vulnerable space, that it just feels like they're there for you. You'll be alright. Like it feels really, makes it really safe and really just a beautiful, even bonding experience, just talking about fears on its own, not even having gone into the situation at all. So I can only, recommend you that you're brave enough to ask that question and see where it takes you, and see what the other person has to say. It's just beautiful to listen to someone else's fears, because it's like they're opening up to you and they're sharing something really special, really like deep from the heart with you. So question number 4 is what are your boundaries? So when I first heard that question, I didn't actually have a lot of boundaries, meaning I wasn't really aware that that was such a valuable thing to have in your life. Like I've not been raised in an environment where boundaries were talked about. I wasn't never in a relationship where boundaries were really discussed. So I actually had to then find out myself, what are my boundaries? So that was a really beautiful question to drop into. And in the beginning, it felt like awkward. I was like, okay, what does that mean? So boundaries can be anything. Like if you're making like love to someone, it can be, well, tonight I really don't want you to touch my breasts, let's say, because they're really tender and really sore. Or tonight I don't want to have any let's say penetrational sex, because I don't even want to go into that space. I just want to share like really gentle touch with you. Or if you're going on a family holiday, you can be, my boundaries are, I really need 2 hours of time for myself, because during that time I want to study, or I want to just read and relax, and I need you to have your own space and your own time. Or it can be, my boundaries are, I want to spend $200 and that's it, no more. So it can go in so many different directions, but the art of knowing your boundaries and of communicating them feels amazingly safe to voice that, just for the other person to know where you're at, and then also for you to be able to respect someone else's boundary. Because if you're just leaving that out to like, oh, I think I know what they mean, I think I know what they want or don't want, it's a guessing game that is bound to trigger either something in the other person that you didn't want to trigger, or it's bound to set you up for failure, because by you assuming that you think you know someone else's boundaries in that moment is almost impossible, because it can change. Like, it's not just because once you set boundaries that you sort of have to stick to them forever. It really comes, once you are, like, I guess, getting used to voicing that, you also become very comfortable in changing your boundaries. So you might have said yes to something at first, but while you're in the situation, you felt like, no, actually I don't want to do that. And the opposite as well, you might feel so safe all of a sudden that you are able to open up to boundaries that you first said no to. So it is a challenging but a most beautiful question as well. So I just invite you to experiment with them and to try them out. and definitely to just start using them wherever you feel like they will benefit you in your life, which is, you know, for me, I can easily say by not asking them, I'm taking away like an experience that it feels so much richer, so much deeper, and so much more bonding by doing that. So yeah. Have fun with them, enjoy them, and please share with me like how did they impact on your life, how did they impact on your work, on your love life, on your family life, and yeah, absolutely feel free to share experience or anything else that wasn't sort of where you're still kind of, you know, a little bit wondering about. Sometimes I get asked, well, when is a good time to ask them, you know, and again, that you feel into the situation and you feel when the moment is right. I know, especially when you're like with another person, you know, like let's say like you're with a lover or someone that you know you're gonna be intimate with. I know that I traveled through situations where it was like, oh, the lust wanted to take over, and sort of it was like a Hollywood scene where, you know, typically you would have then gone into like a passionate kiss, and you know, then it would have triggered off and kicked off a whole lot of other more intimate sort of moments. And I have sort of caught man halfway like kissing me, and I'm going, hang on a moment, let's just slow down and let's just I kind of say something like, I want to invite you to a conversation that will make me feel so much more at ease, relaxed, safe. And I know once we had the conversation, I will be able to open up so much more, and I will be able to enjoy our experience so much more than if we just kind of let this thing sort of take over, like this lust just take over, which is beautiful too. But you know, that will come back. I promise you, it will come back afterwards as well. And if it doesn't, you know, if those questions really kind of made you realize, oh my God, like this is, I'm not sure if I really like those answers from the other person, like I'm not sure if they sit with me really well, then it is the most amazing hint for you to not even take it any further, like not even go that, like to that level of depth with the other person. I've certainly had that as well, where I was like, wow, I'm not sure if we're really like compatible here. I'm not sure if this is really gonna work, because I don't feel the, you know, the flow. I don't feel like you're really hearing me. I don't feel like you're really able to express where you're at, and I quite frankly don't want to open up to a situation like that. So it actually is such a beautiful insight to the other person as well. So yes, I'm going to say goodbye and send you so much love.